So we had an interesting Battletech question come up yesterday about the battlefield. What do you play on? What is the size of a Battletech table? This kind of runs in tandem of the question of, well, what's the average battle value, or what's kind of the standard Battletech battle value? And I pushed that up to the channel here yesterday under the Battletech playlist. I want to kind of explore and weigh in on the actual tabletop, the actual battlefield, because that's where the magic happens. That's where the dice translate into tabletop glory. And then, of course, turning it over to you guys in the comments, asking, well, what is the standard Battletech play area? Most of my Battletech games, and I say most, are played on a traditional, tabletop. That would be defined as something like you'd see in Warhammer 40,000 or Historicals or Chain of Command, going to the gaming club, going to the gaming store, the hobby group. That standard wargaming table with terrain is kind of what we play on. And either I will bring my own terrain scaled to Battletech, or we'll use kind of generic hills and trees, which the scale is close. It's close enough. So when we play that, we have a big table for the game. Secondary would be hex maps. And again, I play most of my games on a traditional wargaming table because that's how things operate. I do bring my hex maps with me all the time because there are times where maybe the tables are all in use. Certainly if it's a busy night, I have my hex maps, and if someone wants to play Warhammer 40,000, absolutely take the table. I don't need a table to play on. I have the hex maps. So there are times where, yes, we will play on the wargaming table, but we'll switch over to the hex maps because you show up to the club, everyone's got to play. Exploring the hex maps, we will play generally with 2 hex maps. We'll play with 2 hex maps. This keeps the size reasonable. It keeps the engagement reasonable. And it gives you enough maneuverability that certainly you can't run away and hide everywhere, but it gives you stuff like an outflank or a refused flank, or if you want to move to the center and you start getting hurt bad, you have some place you can pull a tactical withdrawal, kind of 2 hex maps. Going down to 1 hex map. Generally, I won't play on 1 hex map, given the choice. Certainly, it leads to a very dynamic and focused game because literally turn 2, you're on top of each other. So if we're looking for a quick game or a game where we're forced to engage, very straightforward, we'll play on 1 hex map. Time also. If we don't have a ton of time, play on 1 hex map. You're forced to engage. You're forced to make those kind of forward-moving decisions as opposed to side or rear-moving because you have nowhere to go. So if we have less time to play battle value, when you have less time to play Battletech. When you have less time to play Battletech, you kind of have two options. You can either decrease the map size, so it forces you to get up there and engage. And once you're engaged, you're going to slug it out to the end. Or you can shrink the battle value size. Play a lance, only a lance. Play and kind of pull that down. So I find where it's like if we want to play a lance or above, but still get it in a quick game, we go down to one hex map. There's also the question of space. There will be times where just maybe we finish up the main event, or I usually bring my Battletech stuff. So even if we're playing Talisman, we finish up and we've got maybe like an hour and a half. Hey, I've got some Battletech. Let's play it. So there's times to get a quick game in. There's times where just at one of the stores, it's a really busy night, D&D night also. They've got some tables. We've got like a little corner side table. That's it. I mean, hardly any room whatsoever. Just like a board on a chair. Hey, it's all good. Put out 1 hex map. So sometimes the physical space, I will go to 1 hex map. But the standard for me, most games, wargaming table or 2 hex maps. Sometimes 3 or 4. We'll replicate that if someone wants a bigger game and if they're newer to Battletech so we don't have to do the conversions and range and figure about facing. That is the advantage of the hex maps and the hexes themselves. They take care of all those calculations. But I'm going to turn over to you guys now. We looked at the standard battle value, what is the standard, or what is your standard, or what is your go-to table size for Battletech?